Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Stitch and Style by me, Nadia, and today I'm going to do a Friday sews, and it's actually going to cover the past week and a half from when I came back from the dressmaker's ball. And I'm not recording this on Friday. I have a very busy day on a Friday, so I'm getting this recorded ahead of time and I will post it out on Friday. I just wanted to say a big thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating this hashtag, and it's brilliant because you can find out lots of other sewing vloggers and sewing content, and I use it myself to do that. Last time I spoke to you, I updated you on my plans to sew a turtleneck top, and this is what I'm wearing, and it's the full turtleneck by Paper Cut Patterns. So this pattern has two variations. One is a more fitted style and it's like a mock turtleneck, and the other is more of a relaxed fit top with a full turtleneck. As you can see, I've made the full turtleneck and it's also got drop shoulders. When I bought the pattern, it was in sizes XXS to XL, but it looks like they have updated the pattern to be from sizes 1 to 8. I think that's a little more size inclusive than they were. It's round about a UK size 20. In the old sizes, I made a size medium, which was a bust 39.5, waist 31.5, and hip 41.75 of an inch. Apart from the hip, that's a little bit bigger than my measurements by a couple of inches each, and I was trying to choose between sizes, but I know it's relaxed anyway, but I didn't want it to be too tight, especially on my arms, because I sometimes on patterns have to do a large bicep adjustment if the arms are really fitted. So I just wanted to have that a little bit of extra room, and I thought I can always take some out if I feel like it's too oversized for me. So yeah, I decided to do the size medium, even though it was a little bit bigger than my actual measurements. I'm just standing up now to show you the fit on me, and as you can see, it is quite relaxed around the bust and the waist, and it fits really nicely on the arms. I've got a little bit of room there, and happy with the length on me of the arms. Now the only thing is, I do think it's a little bit short on me. So here's my belt, and I'm wearing a ready-to-wear miniskirt, and yeah, it just comes down just below my belt. This is a viscose, I'm pretty sure this is a viscose jersey. It feels like a viscose jersey, and it's a nice quality. It's the same on the back as it is on the front. I much prefer it when it's done like that rather than just printed on, especially with a stripe. And I've got pretty good pattern matching on the sides and on the arms. I did really spend the time cutting it out this time and pinning it, so yeah, I was really happy with the finish. I also made sure that when I did the hem that I'd rolled it up so I could do the stitching in the black, and so you wouldn't see visible stitching, and I think that works really well. The turtleneck is folded over, so it is a long one, and because it's a viscose jersey, it is a little bit floppy, so it doesn't necessarily stand up. I think if you wanted it to stand up, you'd probably have to do it in cotton jersey, but I do like the fact that the viscose jersey has a little bit of drape, so I think that looks nice in a more loose fitting top. One thing that I did do that I had to redo was the sleeves. I wasn't 100% happy with them. Now, first of all, I cut them out so the stripes were going down, and then I was careful to do my pattern pieces so they were symmetrical on either side, but they weren't lined up with these stripes here, because then because I'd cut with the stripes going down, it kind of went to there and then continued down, but they weren't perfectly lining up with the lines here, and I just wasn't happy with how they were looking. So I took the sleeves off and I cut them so the stripes were going across, and then attached them, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And I'm really excited to style this top. I think it will go with a lot of my clothes, and I'm really excited. It's the first day I've worn it today, and I'm really enjoying wearing it. And I think this is my new colour palette, black and white. Hopefully not everything I'm going to make is black and white. So let me show you what I've made next. I just want to intersect at this point before I introduce my next make, and that's because I'd forgotten to tell you that it is actually going to be my entry for Sew Romp Jump Play 22, which is an Instagram challenge that's taking place until the 26th of October, I think. Now, I will just confirm some of the details of the challenge in case you want to participate too. The challenge is to sew a romper, jumpsuit, play suit, boiler suit or overalls between the 25th of September and the 26th of October, and the garment must be for an adult, and you need to post it on Instagram on the 26th of October and tag V, who is at 85th and Wade, and that's also her YouTube channel, and use the hashtag SewRompJumpPlay22. So now I'll just hand back to me talking about my make. So this is my next make, and it's the Greta overalls by Made My Wardrobe, and it's a really interesting overalls pattern. I think it's really clever and really well designed, and I'll just stand up and show you some of the details. The front has a waist seam, it's got straps, and it's all attached at the front and at the back, and it's got this little bib which extends from the trouser legs up to the back, and the straps are fully attached, and then when you tie it up it kind of folds over on itself, so you've got this bib that's a little bit folded over. So you've got two options with the ties. You could either have a shorter tie, then pull them round at the back and then tie them at the front, or you've got the longer straps, which I chose to make, and you pull them round from the back, round through the front, and then tie them at the back, like I've done there. So it's got these pockets here in, and I must say that these pockets were the trickiest bit to do, were the trickiest bits to sew. Just this point here, getting that neat was actually very, very tricky, I thought. And I haven't got plenty of room in the length of the body. Let me talk about the sizing and the fit adjustments that I made. In terms of sizing, the Greta overalls go, and this is in centimetres, they go from a bust size 78 to 126, waist 61 to 109 and hip 86 to 134, and I'll just put down here the conversions to inches if you're like me and you just go on inches. So it tells you to go off your hip measurement when choosing the size, and I decided on a size 14, which is 105 centimetre body measurement, and I'll just convert that to inches, which is a 41.3 inch hip measurement. So I'm a 42, so I looked at the finished garment measurements, which was 44-inch hip, and I was happy with that size. So I cut out a straight size 14, but I did make some adjustments for my body length. This is drafted for a height of 5'5", and I'm 5'8.5", so I thought probably I'll need some extra room, especially because I'm long-waisted, so I was just a bit careful about it fitting on the body. So I ended up adding 9 centimetres or 3.5 inches to the body, and I also added 2 inches or 5 centimetres to the leg length. Now, I was probably being overly conservative here, but I just didn't want it to be too short in the body, and I think you've always got these straps that you could adjust. So as I was saying last time, I'd actually cut out the pattern and stuck it together, and I'd actually made those adjustments when I spoke to you last time, and I said I couldn't work out how to do the sway back adjustment. So if you were tuning in to see what mistake I'd made next, then you're not going to be disappointed with this. This is another mistake where I was like, oh no, what have I done? Now, I was cutting it out and I thought, no, I probably do need to make a sway back adjustment. I was really confused by the pattern pieces, and I should have looked a bit more closely at the instructions before I started making adjustments to the pattern piece. The pattern piece is, you don't have any side seams, so the pattern piece is long at the back and then short to the front where you've got these waist, because you've got a separate waist bib. But I didn't realise that, and when you look at the pattern, it looks higher at the front and lower at the back. So I presumed on the pattern piece that the higher side was the front and not the back. So when I did the sway back adjustment, I actually took the length out of the front rather than out of the back. And then I cut out my pattern pieces, and it was only when I came to sew everything together that I realised I'd actually done the sway back adjustment to the front rather than the back. So at this point I was really panicking, thinking, I don't know if this is going to be salvageable, I don't know. And you can't really tell until you've kind of made it all up. So I was just getting through the making process as quickly as possible, and I didn't do all the top stitching or that it tells you to do in the pattern. I just kind of put it together as quickly as I could so I could try it on and see if it would actually fit. I would say that this is quite a complicated pattern. There's quite a lot of steps, and the pattern pieces are a little bit unusual, and the way you construct the pocket, you have to kind of put it on the outside then flip it, and then as a beginner, I think I would have really struggled with this pattern in terms of getting it neat and understanding what to do. I did have to read over the instructions several times to kind of understand what it was asking me to do. Nothing wrong with the instructions, I think it's just quite a complicated pattern. And actually everything came out fine in the end. You just have to be quite slow and methodical and really read what they're asking you to do, and just follow it step by step. I would say it is for a little bit more of an intermediate sewist, in my opinion. I think there are definitely easier patterns to follow if you want dungarees, if you're a beginner or newer to sewing. I have actually gone back to my pattern pieces and done a proper sway back adjustment on it. Yeah, so it's all there ready for next time. I think there will be a next time, but I'm just going to see how much I wear these dungarees. I'm not 100% sure about the length. I think I've lengthened them a little bit too long. They're kind of sitting like under my ankle, but I don't know whether I'd prefer them slightly cropped so they come up just above my ankle. I think I'd probably prefer that look. Now, the material is I think it's a linen look cotton. It's got, and I don't know if it will show up. There you go. You can see you can see through it a little bit, so it's quite loosely woven, and it's got a texture to it, the fabric. This fabric, I'm pretty sure, is from Rainbow Fabrics, and I had 3 meters. Now I did lengthen it quite a bit. I normally cut flat most of the time anyway, but I wouldn't have been able to cut this on the fold and get it out of 3 meters. I had to do one pattern piece going that way and then flip it and one pattern piece going that way. So if you do have to lengthen it like me, you will need a little bit more than it says, because I think it said you could fit it out of 3 meters. I don't think I would have been able to if it was a directional print, so just bear that in mind. The pattern piece is really big, so there's only so much like pattern Tetris you can do with a pattern piece that size. So I put on my jumpsuit to wear today, and I was planning on getting some photos, because when I recorded the vlog earlier this week, I ran out of time to take any photos in the light, and taking pictures or videos of a jumpsuit in the dark when it's black is really difficult to see any of the details. So I've worn it today, and I do have a bit of a fitting issue, and that's because I didn't do the sway back adjustment as I have explained. So I wanted to show you, before I try and fix it, I wanted to show you the issues that I'm actually having. This is the jumpsuit untied. I'm just going to tie it around like this to the front, and I think you'll be able to see it better. Now, this is the issue. I've got a bit of a baggy bum, so hopefully you can see that there. I have got all this excess material here, and I have a lot of excess here. Now this is from me having needing a sway back adjustment. So there isn't any seam here along the back that I can actually do a sway back adjustment. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to pin here all this excess that I need taking out, which is quite a lot. Just put a seam in across this back bit here, take all this excess out, and then I think it's going to fit a lot better. I think it fits fine at the front, but yeah, the back, definitely I need some work doing on that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly just take that excess out of the back, and then hopefully I'll be able to get some photos and a video. So I'm just showing you here what I've done is I've pinned here, so the fabric together, and that's how much I need to take out. So I've just drawn a very and it's not a very neat line, but a line to the side seam here, and so it'll be tapering to nothing. And I'm just going to sew along that line, and I'm just going to sew with the basting stitch at first, so I can just then check the fit and see how that looks. Right, so I have just sewn up, I basted it first, as you will see, along those lines, and actually I was doing it really quickly because I was on my lunch at work, but yeah, I had to unpick that and redo it because the centre back seam wasn't lining up at the top and the bottom. So yeah, I unpicked it and redid it, and I've given it a press. So, and I also managed to get some photos while I was on my lunch. But I'm just nipping back on now just to show you again. So this is the difference that it's made. Yeah, I think you can see the difference it's made. So I've not got such a baggy bum, and I've got no kind of, I've not got the same problem with so much excess fabric. I think there's still a bit of room in there, which I do need for sitting. And now I'll just go back to where I was on my Friday sews. I just want to share quickly a couple of things that I've bought. And one of the things that I bought over the past couple of weeks was from when I went to Leicester for the dressmaker's ball and had a fantastic time. And while I was there, I did go shopping, and I saw some really unusual jewellery in one of the shops, and I didn't purchase it at the time, but I was really thinking about this jewellery. I ended up finding the shop online and purchasing a couple of things from them, and I'm really happy with my purchases, and I thought I would share them with you. The first thing I bought was this necklace with this, it's like, they call it like chain mail, so design on it, and this is the 40 centimetres I assume, and it's this company here, Instinct. I'm really happy with how that looks. Now, I like to wear silver, and I can't wear certain metals. I can't wear gold, especially like the cheaper quality gold, and I can't wear metals that aren't hypoallergenic. So this is stainless steel, and it doesn't tarnish, and I find for me stainless steel is fine for me to wear, including in my ears. So I also got the matching earrings. So again, it's like a chain mail earring. And I also got these ones, which are, I think they're called the rose design, and you can see they're a stud earring with like, and they've got multiple circles to make up just a round design, and I thought they were pretty as well. They're such cool designs. I really liked the designs of them, so yeah, I ended up treating myself. And finally, the other thing that I got this week was the latest edition of the Fibre Mood magazine. I watched Kate from the Fold Line, and I saw some of the patterns in it, and I thought, oh yes, I liked some of the patterns. So here are some of the patterns, and it's got loads of inspiration inside. I really like this dress as well, this one, and I really like the Coke pattern. And yeah, there's also a skirt in it that's got a zip up the front, like a pencil skirt. I think that looks really nice. So I'm looking forward to sewing up something from the Fibre Mood magazine. Now, I also forgot to say goodbye, so just nipping on to round off the video and to tell you my plans. Now, the plan for the coming week is to participate in the Sew Upcycle 2022 challenge, which is being run by Becky, Notes from the Sewing Room, and also Karen, So Little Time, both of whom I met at the Dressmakers Ball and are absolutely lovely. And I'm really excited about this challenge because I was a little bit worried, thinking, I don't have anything that I could kind of upcycle. But I have got two things that I've found, and one of them is an old duvet cover that's mainly white, but it's also got some pink and some mustard yellow on. I don't know whether I'll use the mustard yellow, but I might use some of the pink. And I'm planning on creating a Callie shirt out of it because that is on my Make 9 and I really want to get into shirt making, and this is going to give me the little push I need. I'm not going to be worried about ruining the fabric because it's an old duvet cover, and I'll finally get to tackle a collar. So that's one of my plans. I also have a twill that I made of the Sawtell dress. I made it out of some black cotton. I've actually just got it here. So it's quite a long dress, so there's quite a lot of fabric in here, and this was the part here that didn't go too well, and I've actually just tried to unpick it a little bit and it looks a little bit better, but I still think that I'm going to repurpose this material. So I was thinking of making a skirt out of this, just an above the knee skirt that I can wear for work, and I think that will look really nice. Ouch, there's a pin in there. Ouch. Ouch, I've just pricked myself with the pin. I might want to add a lining, and then I don't think it would fit into the rules of the challenge. I'll have to check on that, but if not, I've still got the duvet cover to use. Thanks for sticking with me until now. I appreciate every single watch, like, comment and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.